This episode is brought to you by Netflix's Remarkably Bright Creatures. What if a Pacific octopus held the key to a mystery that could heal your heart? Well, that's Tova's reality. An elderly widow working at an aquarium, Tova forms an unlikely friendship with the curmudgeonly Marcellus, whose remarkable intelligence leads her to a life-changing discovery. Remarkably Bright Creatures is now playing, only on Netflix.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Hey guys, today I'm interviewing my cat about his perfect bistro food. Percy, you seem to be a big Perfect Bistro fan. Care to comment? Totally. What do you like about it? You love the high-quality ingredients? And the delicious flavors, of course. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Listen to Percy, guys. Visit perfectbistro.com to try it for your cat.
I'm Jessica, and this is Daebak K-Rambles, where a couple of friends review Korean dramas, and we are back for not a review episode. We're going to do another sort of freestyle episode on adult romance, more adult romance, grown folks romance stories in K-drama land, and I am joined for this episode by Carol from Kdrama Musings Podcast. How are you, Carol?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I would love to know maybe what you've been up to since the last time you were here was for the When Life Gives You Tangerines episode, and then before that was for the Dynamite Kiss review, and I feel like it's been maybe a minute. So what are you watching currently?
That is so true. I was thinking the last time was Pursuit of Jade, but I'm still in Pursuit of Jade.
Because for those who don't know, we went hog wild on this Chinese drama, Pursuit of Jade. It came out this year, and we did a 2-part review over on Liliana's Tea and Soju podcast, and the three of us had a friggin' ball, let me tell you right now.
Whoa.
And it's kind of been the drama of the year. It's consumed a lot of our waking hours. Are you still rewatching it, Carol?
Well, I just watch bits and pieces.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm not watching the whole thing. I'm just watching bits and pieces. And I do have other shows I'm watching now, so I'm kind of like, I'll be honest though, the feedback was lovely, and I love seeing the messages from people who enjoyed that episode. And When Life Gives You Tangerines too was so much fun. So if you have not heard that, please go listen. What have I been up to? Watching dramas, creating more content. I actually want to take the content seriously and
Sure.
do something, So 2 days ago, I released my first Substack. Tell me if I've shared it. I haven't shared it. I don't know why I haven't shared it.
Okay, I was going to say, because if I would have read it by now.
I know.
That's like, God, you scared me there, because I was like, damn, did I miss a Substack from Carol? But you haven't released it yet. Okay.
No, after this, I'll release it, but it's an article talking about the genesis of why I got into Asian dramas and the perspective that I gained. I'm trying to do this seriously. So, yeah.
So it's like an intro to
starting
Carol.
at the beginning. Exactly.
Oh, perf. Okay. Yeah, definitely going to give that a read.
Yeah.
What are you watching? What's the K-drama landscape?
I just finished Yumi Cells 3 today.
Yeah.
And in the middle of episode 7, there are only 8 episodes, but in the middle of episode 7, I actually paused, went on my Hinge, reduced my age requirements by 9 years.
What?
And I was like,
man, that male lead got y'all effed up.
Yo, it was crazy. And then when I finished episode 8, my rational cell came to my head and was like, girl, what the hell? It's never going to be like this.
Right.
Better go back up to 30 something.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that about the age thing. Because I had a listener message me today, DM me and Liliana, because we did a review of Nothing But You last year.
Okay.
And Nothing But You is another Chinese drama, but it's an age gap romance. And she was like, oh, you guys are so funny. And I was like, girl, I don't remember anything that I said a year ago. You know, if I do a review, I basically remember it for like a month and then it's gone. I don't remember anything that I said.
Same.
So she had to remind me. She was like, oh, you know, you were talking about the age gap and how you guys are like in your early 30s and how a 22-year-old coming into your DMs or you know, trying to start a relationship with you is just like too young. Absolutely not. That would be wild. And I was like, oh, right. I did say that. Because 22 versus 32, like, boy, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was thinking, so I'm 30-something,
Okay.
8.
yes.
And I was just like, how much younger can I go, realistically?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, maybe like 27. Maybe I could do something like 27.
Yeah.
But my youngest brother is 30. He's about to turn 31.
Oh, no.
So I was just like,
You
what do
can't go
mean
younger than the
you got someone
brother. Yeah.
younger than David. Like, what do you mean?
So my friend group went through
Yeah.
this like many years ago of how this is stupid, but these are things that you talk about with your friends. And I have a lot of guy friends. So they were talking about how young you're supposed to go. And someone had an algorithm. Somebody had a math to it. And so it was divide your age in half and add 7 years.
Okay.
So you say you're
Whoa.
38.
Okay.
38 divided by 2.
Yeah.
That's 19 plus 7. The youngest you can go, according to this stupid formula that they saw somewhere, is 26. 26.
I know you're lying. What am I
What am I going to do with a 26-year-old? So for me, it'd be plus 7, 24. 24?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. 24. Okay.
No offense to the 24-year-olds out there,
No.
but I'm
None
not
at
sure you
all.
can hang with us.
With a 38-year-old? But you know what it was? It's just the energy.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Yumi was, I think she's like me. She's just like even.
Yeah.
Not too
Pretty even-keeled.
excited. That kind. And then this kid comes in and he's very even, but he has chaotic moments.
Okay.
And you're just like,
You're like, maybe
I'm
it can
trying
work.
to adjust. Like, maybe. But a lot of things have to line up. So
These K-dramas
hey.
keep us delusional, though. They keep
Yeah.
us so delusional.
Delusional enough to change the age in your Hinge profile? Yeah.
Girl, it's having you take action. And that's crazy. But let me know how it goes. Keep me in the loop on that.
I will.
Mhm.
I will.
Mhm.
I'm also watching Goldland on Disney with Park Bo-young.
Okay. How is
First
that one?
2 episodes. Fantastic.
I knew it. And I knew it.
It's really good. The first 2 episodes. It kind of reminds me of Karma just because
And I love Karma.
that guy is in it.
Uh-huh.
You know, the tall guy, the comedian guy.
Yes.
I'm blanking out on his name. And it does have that element in it. So it's fun. But to see Park Bo-young, I love her.
Mhm.
I'm not going to shade anybody else, but I love Park Bo-young.
Mhm.
She gives me the range I need.
Yeah.
And I just finished something else. Oh, I'm still watching Perfect Crown. Perfect Crown is the most complicated. I have the most complicated relationship with it. I love the way you lean back.
I did.
Like,
I was like,
ooh.
And I did it without thinking it.
I know.
Yeah. I basically rocked back on my heels a bit. Just
Yeah.
sitting in a chair. Yeah. Well, so Perfect Crown, man, I've heard so many mixed things, and you're part of the mixed feelings about it.
Yeah.
The chorus
Yeah.
of I'm not sure that I keep hearing
I'm not
about that.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I've come to the conclusion that they're wasting our time.
Oh, no. How many episodes have come out? It's
With
basically
not
halfway done,
letting-
right?
Oh, it's done like in 4 episodes.
Oh.
But I feel like they're wasting our time with not having Pyonwoo-suk give the range he can give. And it's all IU. So I have a bit of a
There's a
challenge
there
with that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are going to talk all about adult romance and in all its many forms, I guess. So we'll tell you more. But before that, if this is your first time listening, go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more. And if you like us, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That goes such a long way for other listeners to find us just like you. And then come check us out on social media to stay up to date on their latest episodes and reviews. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Daebak Pod, DAEBAKPOD. And lastly, if you're a fan, please consider becoming a patron. It's a great way for you to get involved and show your support and get extra content. You can check out the page on patreon.com/DaebakPod. And shout out to my patrons: Curtis, Alana, Lorna, Sammy, Julian #1, Caitlin, Tanmei, Marta, Delphia, Maria. Carol's dancing. Maria, Sarah.
I always dance.
I know. I'm like reading it, but then I see you in my peripheral. Anyway, Maria, Sarah, Pam, Julia #2, Nadira, Matthew, Lauda, Christine, Kate B, and KG, K-Drama Watcher 2. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Carol, let's talk about adult romance. I want to preface this by saying this is not a recap podcast. This is going to be a loose conversation for those who kind of want stories that reflect choice, regret, agency, and maybe are a little bit sexy. Maybe there is some spice to these dramas as well. But I mean, for the most part, the unspoken rule of romance K-dramas is that you might have an initial hook of skinship in the show. You know, she trips and falls on his lips sort of thing. You know, some silly thing to get them to kiss, get them to hug, something. And then right around episode 10 or 11, you get the first real kiss, the one with stakes, the one with emotion. And then you'll have some awful contrived reason for a late stage breakup in episodes 14 or 15. And then they get back together in the end and it's a happy ending. At no point do we factor in that they have sex. So it's kind of a chaste setup. And we're here to talk about that as well. You know, what are the dramas that fall outside the norm? These dramas that we're going to talk about are not beginner romance K-dramas. I think they require a little more emotional literacy, which I will say, like, I think my listeners, the K-Ramblers, as I don't often call them, I think you guys definitely have emotional literacy. This is not about soft vibes only romance dramas. We're going to talk more about the realistic side of these stories. And the thing is, I don't want to automatically assume or portray the more realistic K-dramas that have sex involved, that people talk about in different terms, that those are superior than the fluffy, chaste, they never have sex K-dramas. You know, those have their place, and I love those too, but we're just not going to focus on those this time around. I think what we're trying to get at more than the PG-13 or rated R K-dramas is the fact that the K-dramas that are more adult are not ignoring power, class, or gender dynamics. You know, these romance stories are messy. And I think that is an interesting thing to look at. Carol, what do you say to this?
I'm very excited for this session because I feel like, I guess I've grown.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to sit down and watch a high school drama these days. I gotta like the actor real bad for me to sit through it. And I think as I've grown older, I kind of like to see adult romance, especially because I'm single right now. Mm-hmm. I just like the idea of seeing the challenges that someone my age might possibly be going through in dating right now. So the last drama or the last 2 adult romances that I really liked were Love Me, which was very melancholic, and The Practical Guide to Love.
Okay. Yeah.
That show was, it was good. It was good. It
well,
gave
talk to me about those.
Like,
what was adult about it? What was grown about it?
Okay, so let's start with Practical Guide to Love. It
Yeah.
stars Ha Ji Min and Park Sung-hoon.
Okay.
It's talking about this woman. She has her career on straight, like she's doing really well, and she's decided, okay, I think I'm ready to date. But Ha Ji Min is working at this hotel and she says she's ready to date. Obviously, in Korea, it seems when you're ready to date, sogeting, so blind dates. So you ask someone to introduce you to someone, which I love so much and I wish we did more of over here, but whatever. She meets this guy, and for their first date, they're having dinner. They're asking each other questions. She's being very conservative, you know, the natural, I'm an angel. She's practically wearing a courthouse wedding dress, white, one piece. I was just like, this is a lot for me. But he asked a question that has stuck with me. And that made me feel like, oh, this is grown-up romance. He was like, would you like to date with the intention of getting married?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And I panicked.
That would stop me in my
there.
tracks. Yeah, intentionality.
And she panicked.
Intentionality, setting expectations, coming in and communicating what your wants and needs are and being like, hey, look, I'm not here to play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for Ha Ji Min's character, she ends up pouring, I think, coffee or something on herself, so she has to go to the bathroom.
No, she's wearing white.
But I know. But in her head, she was having this monologue of, dude, what the hell? This is our first date. Why are you coming on so strong and whatnot? And that's the exact reaction I had. And I was just like, now hold on. Am I not the same person who's always saying, I want people who are intentional, don't waste my time, da 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 da. And then all of a sudden, here's someone who's saying that. And I'm just like, whoa, this is a bit too much for me.
Right.
So they do the annoying thing of, should I text her? Should I not text? Let me wait 3 days. They do that, some version of that. She obviously thinks he's not into her. So she meets someone else, except the person she was supposed to meet brought in a stand-in. So the stand-in comes to the date.
Oh.
They end up having a great time, but the stand-in is not who she thinks he is. And he, on this date, is sort of berating her because of the questions she's asking. She's asking what do you do for work? And what do you this? And, like, they're not basic questions, but they're important questions out the gate to see, are we on the same level, if you will? And so he was berating those questions and it got under his skin a little. They ended their date and then they had the most comfortable, non-pressure, getting to know one another. The sparks were sparking. They were like at a playground playing. Like, it was amazing. The sparks were there. And I was sitting there like, oh, this is how we get into this. I have too many options. Because both guys were solid options. And in terms of career, the stand-in was not where he needed to be. Like, I'm working at a hotel. I'm a supervisor of some sorts, and you're on the acting struggle bus. Like, you're trying to find yourself. But he decides for this woman, he's going to step up. So he gets a car. He starts acting. Like, he's doing the things. So to me, I was kind of like, okay, but he's not where I would pick him up or I would have him join me, but he's doing the work. And the other guy, he has everything, but he's too nonchalant.
Oh, no.
And it was nonchalant in the terms of, I'm giving you your space. I want to respect your pace. So I guess that's why I like the show, because eventually both stepped up and she had to make the decision of where she was going to spend her time and who she was going to give her heart to. And to some people, it was an obvious answer. But I think for the first time, I was just like, no, it's not an obvious answer. I can see her with these two people. So that's why I liked it.
Nice.
And then Love Me. Yeah. Love Me. Love Me, I'm going to be talking about that show with my dad.
Really?
I convinced my dad. I know. I convinced my dad to watch his first K-drama. I know.
Wow.
Girl. Yeah.
Carol, you've been watching K-dramas your whole life and your dad's never watched a K-drama?
Exactly.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
What a feat.
Yeah, I know.
So you want him to watch Love Me.
He watched it, so we're just waiting for me to get over this cold so we can record. But I felt like you just said, I've watched K-dramas all my life, and I've always learned life lessons from K-dramas, and I've been able to talk about those things with people around me. The way I explained it to my dad was like, there's so much I want to talk to you about, but I don't know how to start the conversation without a K-drama. So I need you to watch this K-drama with me. I think the main draw was the show is dealing with grief in many forms, but this one family loses their mom. So you have dad who has taken care of mom for many years because she got a disability. You have the first daughter who is a doctor, blames herself for her mom's accident that gave her the disability. And she is so depressed. That was also the first time I saw someone intentionally choosing to be alone.
Oh. What do you mean, alone romantically?
Alone romantically. Alone, she only had like 2 friends.
Okay.
But she would intentionally push people away.
Okay. So she was isolating herself.
She was isolating herself. And this neighbor guy just came into her life, and he came at a time where her mom had died. So I think she was also looking for some sort of connection, and they connected. It was just this push and pull of, okay, I'm going to give of myself, and something happens and you see her retreat. Funny enough, it's Sun Hyejin who did The Trunk. So she was doing the same thing in The Trunk.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Where she will she's like going above and beyond, and then she questions herself, and then you see her retreat. She was doing the same thing here. And the reason I wanted to talk to my dad about it was, one, because of the grief. I lost my mom. He lost his wife. And we've never spoken about it. But we talk about my mom all the time. Yeah, I just thought there's so much there for us to talk about. And we've never spoken about my relationships, or his for that matter. So I was just like, this is a great opening for both of us. But that show it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I have no complaints about that show. So those 2 are the latest adult romance. Is Perfect Crown an adult romance?
No. I mean,
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot make your email response time faster. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you find space for your 3 desk drinks. Why do you have 3? And while we can't help you find the perfect volume for your presentation video, LinkedIn can help you find the perfect audience for your business. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/small business.
I'm not sorry.
Whoa.
That came out really fast. But and this is horrible because I haven't seen it. Right? I have not seen Perfect Crown, but I don't think so. Carol, what's your argument for Perfect Crown being an adult romance?
I didn't say it's an adult romance. I think it's like a young adult romance. I don't know. She's graduated. She's a businesswoman.
Right, but I don't think that the criteria for having a grown romance is necessarily that the characters are older.
Okay.
I think it definitely has to do with the themes. Like, you're touching on, like, this drama, Love Me, has grief mixed into it, and a grief journey, depression journey mixed into the plot. I think it's less about perfection, these concepts like desire versus responsibility, and that love doesn't fix everything, and choosing yourself without villainizing love, chemistry not being enough. Like, when love still fails, despite you guys having great chemistry, Those dramas are the ones that I think I'm referring to.
One could argue that all that you've said is in The Perfect Crown.
Well, I shrugged.
No, I'm just teasing. I get you. I think Perfect Crown is more for, I'm about to finish high school. I'm in college. Like, it's younger.
Oh.
It's younger.
It's skewing younger, is what you're saying.
It's skewing younger.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't compare it to A Trunk or
No.
Love Me.
Mm-hmm.
Practical Guide to Love. Definitely not that. So it's a younger romance.
Zeroing in on this concept of chemistry isn't enough and love is still failing, the one that comes to mind is 25-21, because
see, I saw that.
That one I think messed a lot of people up because they went into it, it had a certain vibe, it was a coming of age and a period piece, and they had wonderful chemistry, and girl, as soon as he went overseas to cover 9/11, I was like, I don't know. And then 25-21, that character Naido has this big complex about her mom not being present in her life because she prioritized her career as a journalist.
Yeah.
As like a news anchor or something, I think was her mom's job.
Yeah.
And then him knowing that and going into the same profession, I'm like, that spelled disaster. That had disaster written all over it. I felt this was an expected, totally valid breakup. And the consensus, I think, from people who were up in arms about it was that they could make it work. They should have been able to make it work.
You know, as you say that, I remember feeling flabbergasted because obviously I didn't expect them to still stay together.
Okay.
But the age gap and the life experience gap between those two, I was shocked there was not more noise about it compared to some other dramas that we've had. And so it was almost like, oh, if they're two hot people, we don't care about the age difference. So we don't care about the life gap. And I struggled with that.
So you struggle with the 4-year age gap between the characters.
As I said, I'm going down to 26. I know that's wild.
We were literally just talking about what's the lowest we can go. And you're over here like, I had issues with the 4-year age gap between the male lead and female lead in 25-21.
No, I don't think it's the age gap. I think it was she was in high school and he was out of uni. Was it out of uni?
What did he drop?
Yeah.
Now I can't remember. But yeah, he was definitely college age.
That's the issue I had.
Okay. Yeah.
You're just like, Carol, that's not that big of an issue. But that's the issue I had.
But
sorry. I know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. They do grow into an adult romance, but
when K-dramas let romance be complicated, it's kind of a push and pull. I think those are the less innocent type of stories that we are talking about already. You have on here Romance as a Bonus Book.
So Romance as a Bonus Book stars Lee Jun-suk.
Yeah.
And she is a divorcee.
Yeah.
He's like a Tongseng, a little brother-ish kind of guy that has always been in her life. She's down on her luck. She needs a job. He's a writer or a editor.
So he's, like a publisher.
Yeah, he's a publisher. He's always liked her. I think he's always liked her. So they start cohabitating. She starts working at his place. Mind you, he didn't know she was staying with him. Like they had a scene where it's like, you're living with me? What's going on here?
She ends up secretly living in his house at the beginning of the series. Oh, she takes a job as his housekeeper.
Yes!
Without him realizing it's her at first.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's squatting.
Yeah, so she's squatting. Eventually he finds out. I think what I liked about that show was her goal was to be a writer or a publisher. As much as he was like trying to do the whole "you're my woman" thing. I want to take care of you. I can do this. I can do that. She was very much, hey, I need to figure out my life. I need to get this done. Mind you, she wasn't really looking at him as a romantic interest until much later. It wasn't my favorite adult romance, but I think why I put it there was the age thing. Like, they were out of university, like both of them were. She was divorced, so she does have more life experience than him. The young man effect, he didn't let it block him or get to him that this is someone who's a divorcee, or this is someone who's divorced and I can't be with her and she doesn't have a life together. But
okay, so I'm
going to support her.
I'll admit, I do not like romance as a bonus book. I looked it up in my old review on Daebak K-Rambles.
I can tell.
And I gave it a 2 out of 5. I did not like this show. I thought it was boring. But the moment that I really liked in the show, which I'm so glad that I wrote this down in a review, is this wild night that the female lead has with the 2 wicked witches of the publishing house. She goes clubbing with Yusun, the baddest bitch in Gangnam, and they make their way to her luxurious apartment for a second round, and they're hammered and they spill their guts about their failed marriages and their would-be marriages. And this part really sticks out in my mind. I remember this even to this day because it was surprisingly emotional. So Yusun's character chooses her career and passion over a marriage. And then another character is talking about her divorce. And this one was also quite emotional. It made me almost cry. There was a flashback of her. It's like a shoe shopping fiasco with her husband not defending her. And it was like really the straw that broke the camel's back. That was the moment that we're flashing back to. She's explaining, of course, that wasn't the only reason that she divorced him. It was how she wanted someone who helped and supported her, not someone who was embarrassed of her, not someone who was not truly passionate about her. It was almost like that moment of, I'm not going to settle anymore. I'm not going to settle for this guy who's just tolerating me.
Yeah.
Despite not me liking the show as a whole, this side character's story was poignant and quite adult, I thought, in the grand scheme of things. So I'm glad you brought up Romance is a Bonus Book, even if that's not my favorite show. I'm sure people really enjoy that show listening, and they like the Nuna romance, and they like the cohabitation. And I also used to work in publishing, so it was like wildly inaccurate publishing stuff that I was like reeling. I'm sure people that work in healthcare or are doctors and they watch a medical show are like, what the hell is this? I can't watch this because it's so wildly wrong.
Yo.
I felt that way about Romance is a Bonus Book. But yeah.
That's how I felt about On the Way to the Airport and even Goldland right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But it's like inaccurate because you know too much, basically?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
I worked at an airport for like 7 years. So I'm watching it. I'm like, yo, I have to stop myself and be like, you're not in that industry anymore. It's okay, Carol. People don't actually know these things. Just watch. Yeah, so I feel you.
Going off of the Romance is a Bonus Book, romance after the fantasy is gone theme, what are some other shows that do the same thing? You've got here Go Back Couple, which there is a big deep dive on the podcast feed for Go Back Couple if you want to listen to a review of it. But it's been a minute. What are your thoughts on Go Back Couple?
Go Back Couple is, I don't know, I think I like second chance romances.
Okay. Sure.
When you recognize your mistakes and you try and save it before it's too late, or you even come back and you're like, hey, you're the person for me. I think we had, what's the name of the guy in Search WW?
Oh, Tankyung?
Yes, in Go Back Couple.
Yeah, he's the second male lead in Go Back Couple. So
oh my God.
He is so fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly on his side.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm all for, girl, leave your guy. He did not appreciate you enough. Go back to Jang Ki-young or go to Jang Ki-young.
Mm-hmm.
But there is, I think what I appreciate about adult romance is people recognize just how much time and effort and they start to reflect on the ups and downs, and they sort of do an aggregate of, was it really always that bad?
Right.
Or were there some good moments, and were the good moments enough for us to
sustain us,
move on to the next year?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So there were some good moments that kept us going. That's what I like about second chance romance. I'm not sure if it fully embodies a second chance romance.
Go Back Couple is definitely a second chance romance. The interesting part about Go Back Couple was, I think you had such a great second male lead in Chang Ki-young, and you were totally like, girl, just ditch your husband and go with Chang Ki-young, start over with Chang Ki-young. You're hot, you're young, you can get any guy you want. Just get Chang Ki-young. Her husband is so mean and biting and scathing, and I think what ultimately brings them back together is their family unit, right? They didn't want to give up on, I think it was a son. I think they had a son together. And they were like, if we don't get back together, we'll never have this son, right?
Yeah.
It was quite a different take than I have seen in other K-dramas, where they're kind of like, look, I know it's not always going to be great, and I know that we can reconcile, but also let's get our shit together because we have a son that we adore.
Yeah. That's what I mean by they start looking at just how much they've put in. And is this something that we really can't work through?
Right.
And it's going to take a lot of work, but are we willing to do the work? Both sides. I'm not going to carry the labor if we're going to go and give this a second chance. You better be class prefect running the show, and I'll be the assistant. Because, yeah.
Something else in Go Back Couple is that you start to realize, as because they both go back in time and to their younger selves, is that he really does see her, right? He understands her. And there's lots of moments in that show where you're like, oh, damn, he has the leg up on Chang Ki-young, because Chang Ki-young obviously doesn't know her, has not lived a married life with her. It's kind of a comfort, right? To have this person who, knows all of your idiosyncrasies, knows what you're allergic to, and sees you in that way, versus starting over and having to dig hard packed ground all over again for you to get to this level.
It's the whole point of, am I really willing to go do the awkward dates again at this age? I know she's back younger, but technically her mind is still a 40-something-year-old. Am I really going to do that? You ask any freshly divorced person these days, they'll be like, dating, I have no idea what to do. So it's easier that someone already knows everything about you and is willing to do the work to accommodate, to support. They just made sense as a couple. But that scene where she loses her footing in high heels.
Oh my God.
And she's just going down
the hill. She goes careening down this steep hill that, I mean, what is it? The three girls are going clubbing. Her and her besties.
Yes.
She's back in her young body. She's hot. They want to go clubbing. So they all wear really impractical shoes. Yeah. Heels to go clubbing, and they have to walk down this hill. And instead of taking the long way around, they actually decide to brave it and walk down this hill in these really high heels. And she just goes careening. She loses control and starts tumbling down this hill. And Chang Ki-young catches her at the bottom of the hill and saves her ass. And when she slams into his body, I was like,
yes.
Yes.
And he was in uniform.
He was,
and I was like, this is cheating. I was like, this is cheating.
It is cheating.
You can't be doing this.
You can't do this to me. Yeah. Anyway, go watch Go Back Couple. There's a lot of great moments in that. Yeah. It's so funny as well. It's just very comedic, but yeah, it's quite serious. The stakes are kind of high at the end of the day. You have some other dramas here under the divorce tag: Alone in Love, Familiar Wife, The World of the Married. I have no frame of reference for The World of the Married. I have still not seen it. What? It's really hard to find.
Oh, damn. I swear it was on Viki when it came out the first time. Girl, I don't know where you need to find it, but just find it. It's that girl.
No.
It is And she's coming out with another drama like that, but
Yeah.
it's with Steve No, I think.
Steve
Is it
No?
Steve No?
Reverend Hottie from Pachinko?
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Yeah.
I think he's also
Oh.
in Perfect Crown.
Yes, but he's such a loser.
He has been hot since day
Forever.
one. Yeah.
Him in
Oh,
did you watch that?
no. Hold
On Netflix. Whoever is listening and has
Behind
not
Every
watched that.
Star? Behind Every Star?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my
That's-
God. You need to watch
What?
Behind Every Star.
What?
It is fantastic.
Get out.
It is fantastic.
Carol.
I'm not kidding. Yo,
Carol?
let me tell you something.
What?
Let me tell you something. Linda, listen. Behind Every Star, he was in it and he was like an auditor. And he came to the entertainment company to do an audit. And there was one of these managers who she's more free-spirited and she likes a guy, she's gonna get a guy. And she set her eyes on him.
Okay.
Homegirl was pulling every seduction plan out of the playbook,
Oh,
trying to get him.
okay.
And he was just like, I'm serious. I'm here for the job. I'm not doing. Guess who folded at some point? Ooh!
Oh!
It's it's kicking my feet good. So yes.
Chat to me about World of the
Married.
Married, though.
Okay.
I see you getting comfy in the seat, like just.
So
Okay.
you have this doctor,
Yeah.
right?
I'm following.
She is a fantastic doctor. First of all, we're in a rich neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Think cul-de-sac,
Mm.
that kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is, all the neighbors, very rich, doctors, lawyers, whatever. They're going to have a birthday party for this woman. This woman, Kim Hae-ye's character, comes out into the garden and she realizes that her husband is having an affair with this woman half her age.
And that's Han So-yi.
And that's Han So-yi.
Oh.
And Han So-yi was hot in this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
She goes into the car. She goes into the trunk. She sees, I think, extra clothes, a photo of them. She picks up a pair of shears and she's having this moment of, I'm going to stab him. The issue is the picture that she saw, all her neighbors were in it. So it's like a couple's vacation that everybody went to. Exactly. Jess. So she's losing her marbles because everybody at the party,
knows. But
everybody
her.
knows. But her.
Oh my God, heads would roll. Heads would roll.
Yo.
Oh my God.
And Han So-yi, being the bad bitch that she is,
Of course.
she goes into the hospital to taunt this woman. She doesn't know that the woman knows, right? Tell me why Babes went to her and it comes out that she's pregnant.
Who's pregnant? Han So-yi?
Han So-yi is pregnant.
You're going to have to stop telling me everything about the show. I got to watch this show. Girl, this shit crazy. Okay, so how's this grown? How's this show grown?
It's just the betrayal.
Okay.
The keeping up appearances.
Oh.
You know,
Okay.
in front of other people, we know this relationship is not working.
Mm.
Everybody knows this relationship is not working, but everybody has been pretending to play this game of perfection
Mm.
in a very gritty way that we don't see, because the other couples are also going through really difficult hardship, but to one-up each other or to make themselves look good, everyone is sort of swallowing their pain.
Oh.
And not addressing their pain just so that they can save face.
Mhm.
And, they have a teenage son. So we're also talking about the psychological damage that he is going through.
Yeah.
Her best friend, Kim Hae-ye's best friend, also a doctor in the hospital, was also condoning the cheating.
What?
But smiling to her face. So that's what I mean by
Oh my God. So
the
even it's also like
adults-
friendship breakups in
Yeah,
there too.
exactly.
Dios.
So there was just a lot in there. Oh,
A lot of meat on the
are
bone.
you gonna watch? Are you gonna look for it, or should I give you like a major moment?
No, don't give me anything else. Don't give me anything else.
Okay,
Because I
nothing
totally
else.
want to watch for myself. I think someone's requested it at some point. Also, for the to cover it on the podcast. You mentioned Hansoi. Hansoi has another drama that I'd love to talk about, and it's Nevertheless. The way you're groaning already. This show is a lesson in what not to do. This show is all chemistry without compatibility. It's a situationship final boss. Power dynamics acknowledged but not resolved in any way. It's the story of this horrible toxic relationship that costs her self-respect. Mm-hmm. And instead of choosing something that is better for her, which is basically choosing herself, choosing not to enter into this relationship or keep up with this man, she's like, I don't care. I still want to be with him. I see you just over this show.
The way Nevertheless pissed me off,
Okay. How did it piss you off?
First of all, I don't see it as an adult romance.
Really? Okay.
No. As I'm watching it, I'm like, this is the only kind of nonsense that will happen when you're in your early 20s. Because
see, that's the thing. I don't think that it's necessarily I said this before, that a grown romance it's not that dependent on age.
I get it now. I agree. So, okay, fine. Let's say it's an adult romance.
You have an avenue, which is, this is the stupidity of youth. Because had this story taken place and she's 10 years older, she would not have made this mistake.
Do you know, Hansoi, if she were on TikTok in those days, she'd be giving the who the F did I date story. You know? Because that guy was crazy. That guy was... I think what drove me mad was I didn't understand his why. Uh-huh. That's what I didn't like about the story, because I'm just like, but why are you like this? I'm not seeing any emotional trauma. I'm not seeing any, my girlfriend's cheated on me, so I'm going to cheat, or girls used to call me ugly and I went for surgery and I became better, so now I became the asshole. It was just like, what's wrong with you? And that was it. I'm not saying that you always need that, but I just hated him. And honestly, I think everybody knows I'm a Song Kang hater. So...
I mean, I am too. I haven't flashed that card in a long time, but I am a card-carrying Song Kang hater as well. I really don't want to deep dive on what I don't like.
No.
But
exactly,
this character is a red flag. He's a menace to all women, and he doesn't even know it. He's flirtatious and tantalizing, an expert manipulator. It takes Hansoi's character like half the show just to tell him no. No for anything. They give you next to no information about him. Like, to your point, yes, he is a blank page of a person. He has there's nothing. We see no parents, we see no siblings, we see no vibrant home life. There's no friends of his that we can maybe we can triangulate his personality based on who he's hanging out with. No, nothing at all. So it's frustrating to see his small deceptions and the glimpses into his private life we're still not able to connect this character in any meaningful way. So it really did feel like she's torturing herself.
Yeah.
To be with him.
Yeah, and that was so silly to me.
Yeah, it is. And all of her friends suck. Like, in a way, this is adjacent to the World of the Married, because people suck in World of the Married. Her friends deceived her and didn't let her know about this affair that was so audacious and obnoxious. It was in everyone's face except for hers. That's a kind of betrayal. And all of her friends in the Nevertheless show are not really friends. They talk shit about her. They gossiped behind her back. They sometimes didn't even want her around. They never seemed to care for her. It was like all of her friends were just acquaintances that she met in art school. And they're just 10 moody kids surrounding her at all times. I mean, a lot of issues in that show that make it sort of unlikable, and every character unlikable. I think the 19 plus nature of the show, where they're constantly having sex in the show, made everyone sit up straighter because it's not typical in a K-drama.
Yeah. Oh, those scenes, some of the scenes were really, really hot.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie. Yeah.
Something that I remember, nevertheless, too, is that it kind of started with her going to her boyfriend's art exhibition.
Yes.
And the piece that he has on display at this exhibition is a sculpture of her, butt naked, bent over a counter, obviously in the throes of coitus, mid-coitus. It is an extremely vulnerable sculpture of her that he never told her he was making. She had no idea. She just showed up and everyone's like, oh my God, is that the girl in the sculpture? And it was incredibly humiliating for her. I thought that was like, what a hook to start the show on, was to have her in this compromising situation and betrayed by a lover, you know?
You've said something.
Okay.
You've said something. Because I think that scene really, I don't want to say gave me pause, but I thought when I saw that the show was going to be talking about consent and what is permissible, what's not permissible in a relationship and whatnot. But she goes on to have pretty much the same thing with Song Kang's character. And so
like a dog returns to its vomit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was just like, at the end of the show, I didn't
learn nothing.
Feel... That's it. Sorry. I just...
The way you jumped up, you were like, yes, you hit on it. Yeah.
So it felt like you've wasted my time.
No, I don't. Well, yes, I think it wasted a lot of people's time. But this just goes to show that chemistry is not proof of love.
That's true.
So I think in that way, the show has grown in that way.
That's true. One of my really good best friends. Anytime I'm talking to a guy and I'm talking about him, I'm always saying, oh, we have banter. And she's like, Carol, you always concentrate on banter, and that's not the only thing. I'm like, I get that, but that's important to me. I need banter. Until I grew up and really understood, I bring the banter.
Oh.
So I throw the ball, and when you don't respond, you're out. But if you respond, I'm like, oh, okay. Until I realize, no. I'm the sauce. I'm making these guys nervous and laugh.
I'm carrying this team here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I wish we had seen something like that, I guess.
Some of the stories that I like regarding adult romances and grown stories have to do with like the timing is off in a relationship. The timing is off. Something in the Rain comes to mind, and Record of Youth comes to mind.
I wanted to hear more about Something in the Rain. What do you mean? Timing is off.
I don't think that she was ever in a position to accept this man, to accept Chung Hin's character into her life. She's such a weak-willed character. Weak-willed, and I think her family, despite everything, all the drama that happens with their Nuno romance and how her mom comes between them and her work situation, the workplace sexual harassment issues that happen, you know, she's got a lot on her plate. I don't think she was ever going to fight for that relationship. Later on, when you get that time jump, which is maddening, and you see that much the same way as Han So-ye's character, nevertheless, she didn't learn anything, and she has another shit boyfriend who's treating her terribly, but he's her proper age, you know, an appropriate age for her, but he's awful. You are pissed. You're pissed with this character. But she realizes she's made the wrong choice. The way that she corrects everything is she basically says, I'm done with this job. I've seen this thing all the way through, the sexual harassment case or whatever. I've seen it all the way through, and I'm done. I'm tired. And she goes, I think she goes to Jeju Island and like parts ways with her family, like disentangles herself finally from her family and her mom. And at that point, she is ready to accept a relationship with Chung In, who does the big work of coming to her and saying, I'm sorry, when really I'm not sure he had anything to be sorry about. But he apologizes to her and they get back together finally at the end of the show. But it's not quite the satisfying ending that everybody wanted. And it was all of this drama that felt unnecessary. because it's all down to her personality.
Okay.
In that way, I feel like she needed a few years.
Here's the thing, and I'll push back just a little bit.
Do it.
I don't think it was a right person, wrong time situation. Because, yes, she was weak, but I think she was weak because she hadn't anticipated that society and mostly her mom would be so against the two of them together. And so she's never had to do that work. Like, some of the stuff her mom said was absolutely cruel.
Mm-hmm.
Like throwing in someone's face that they're orphans or something. Oh, it was absolute rubbish. I hate the mom. I never want to remember her again.
If I see her on the street.
Oh, it's on site.
Mm-hmm. Man.
It's on site. I have a few words. But with her, I felt like she was, number one, she was much older than him. Number two, they had that relationship of her best friend is the big sister to this guy. Mm-hmm. 3, she lives in Korea. Just the whole social classes and all the stuff that makes society sometimes challenging. And she knew all that. I feel like she was a woman who was going with the flow of society. And even the sexual harassment case and the way it was handled, it was almost like what a lot of women experience in the workplace. And the bullying at work, what felt like bullying at work and all of that. So she was just going with the flow and almost like, this is what women experience. There's nothing different or there's nothing special or there's nothing alarming because I've heard this from so many women or I've seen this from so many women over and over again. And I don't think she even had a template for what a good relationship could look like because her ex too was kind of trash.
Yeah. In
the way he spoke to her and the way he treated her.
Mind you, he ends up like kidnapping her. It's like this whole thing. It's an entire mess.
It's an entire mess. But what made it work for me, and it's the same thing that's working in Yumi cells for me, I feel like the exuberance of youth on the side of the guy.
Yes.
And that blind belief that society doesn't matter, the people around us don't matter. You're my person and I'm going to push forward for you. And I really think that in a Nuna romance, you need that kind of energy because...
Naive optimism?
Yeah, you do. Because at my age, I'm thinking life is set. I look at a 2-second conversation with a guy and I know exactly, I can map out exactly how it's going to end. So I'll immediately say, this is not for me. You do your thing. I'll do my thing. Goodbye. But with a younger guy, it's like, I don't know whether they don't know or they don't care, maybe a mixture of both, and they just go for it. I understand why she left to Jeju, and she's just like, I can't go back on my word. I can't go back on my thoughts. I just need a clean slate to start afresh. And if I don't find a guy or if I don't get married, this is my lot in life. And that's it. And she would have gone on that path with her friend at the cafe or whatever. He would have had in every life to come back to her and say, hey, I'm still here. For her to be like, oh, okay, maybe I can change my lot in life. That's why I don't think it's wrong time. I do think that
it took her time to find her dignity.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
she needed that time away from her family.
She needed time to, and the thing is, the intervening relationship is so damning because I think he shows up at a wedding of a mutual, and she's there arguing with this asshole, and you're just like, why did she make that mistake all over again? She found some other douchebag.
But I think that's the programming,
right? And that's what I'm saying is that like she had this beautiful relationship that was in a vacuum, right? Like they they got their start without anybody knowing about their relationship. There was no family involved. The sister didn't know. Her awful mother didn't know. The brother, who's best friends with the male lead, Chung In, didn't know. It was beautiful. And that's what sucks about it, is that you saw how great they were together. Once the world, their world found out about it, everyone was making a stink about it. Literally everybody hated it. The fact that this initial shock has worn off, right, of them being together. It took years. She had another shitty boyfriend. They were both unhappy. And it finally became a better time for her. That she's like calmed down, I guess, a bit. And like I said, found her dignity. That like now it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why I think, timing. However, that's not the only thing about this show that is incredibly grown. But yeah, they're compatible. That's what sucks, is that they're so compatible. They're so in love. And they couldn't make it happen. She could not like get over herself.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's true.
She's so filial.
But that's because she has bought into her program. To be filial, to not rock the boat at work or wherever, to just try to survive in this environment we're in, where he's like, I just arrived from the US. I'm riding my bike to work. I'm going to ride circles around you. Like, he was just so playful in a way that she never was. But yeah, I get you. I agree with you. I think she definitely needed to grow up for them to work again. And the biggest grow up moment was just ending things with her mom.
I mentioned Record of Youth, and really quick, I also didn't like this show. But this one ends with they're not together at the end of the show. They don't make it. It's almost a to interpretation. They kind of meet after a long time, and they meet sort of as old friends. That's the vibe that you get from these two. It stars Park Bo-gum and Park So-dam. This is a very realistic show, just like Something in the Rain, where the female lead is hustling. She has a full-time job, a condo that she proudly owns, career aspirations to be a famous makeup artist with celebrity clientele. And she's working hard, like, to hone her craft. And she's busking on the street as a live stream makeup artist. She's doing everything she can to build credibility. And she is not this damsel in distress in this show. Especially when it came to the romantic relationship with Park Bo-gum's character. She was very down to earth. She was practical. She understood that his life as a struggling, aspiring actor was also in flux. And she was passionate about his success and being there for him when he needed. And of course, backing off when he needed as well. So she was really intuitive of a female lead.
Yeah.
Park Bo-gum's character is like a very passive character, though. I see you making faces like you're just like, oh man, girl. What's your rebuttal? Do you have thoughts on this character?
I hated the show.
No, it's it's not good.
I didn't like the show. I only liked one scene.
Okay.
The scene where he's acting, and I don't know whether he was a gangster or something.
Yes.
But he's in a suit and he's fighting.
Yes.
That was the only scene that I like in the whole show, because I was just like, this man can act and you people are playing in my face with this nonsense.
Dude, speaking of, you mentioned consent. This show has a really steamy consent moment where they have a kiss in the car and Hae-jun, which is Park Bo-gum's character, asks for permission first.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. He said, I think the direct quote is, there's something I want to do, but I need your permission first.
Yeah. That was,
we have crazy eyes. And he doesn't even say what he wants to do. She reads his expression and then gives him permission. And they have this amazing soft kiss. It reminded me of Church Tongue soft kiss from The Wedding Singer. And she follows that up with, I've thought about it and you're always allowed. Can I be too? Talking about like, are we always allowed to kiss each other?
Yeah.
And what he says in response is, do whatever pleases you. Girl. Oh, I ascended. So anyway, even though the show is not very good, the show has really good consent moments and a practical relationship that sort of runs its course, and they break up at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
It was youth shows are, I'm not youth anymore. I've accepted it. But like youth shows have that energy of we're hustling, we're trying to make a name for ourselves. Like we can't be together because I'm hustling and I can't take you on right now. And I know you're dealing with your own thing. So go do you. Be great. And I'll be cheering you on. And if we meet at the end, we meet at the end. If we don't, we don't.
Right. Record of Youth had that La La Land ending. Not a lot of people like that. I think we have to talk about, I mean, I was just talking about some lines that are really good in Record of Youth, which is not a good job. Very boring. But we have to talk about the worship me line in my liberation notes.
Yo.
Girl.
There are moments in life.
Go.
Everybody needs a worship you moment. I think I replayed that. I still replay that moment. It's up there with, would you like to date with the intention of getting married?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's a grown man, I know myself kind of statement. And, oh, that was magical. That was magical.
My liberation notes is interesting because it's not quite a romance drama. It's a really strong, depressing slice of life show that has all of these siblings kind of raging against the mundane, banal parts of life. You know, you talked about grief and losing a mother character in another drama. This drama, My Liberation Notes, also deals with that and how the family dynamic fundamentally changes when the mother passes away. And how they have all of these issues with communicating with the father, so on and so forth. So I thought all of that was just excellent. It's so brilliantly written, that show. And the romance between Mr. Gu and our female lead,
Kim Ji-won's character?
Yes.
It is Yeon Mi-jung.
Yeon Mi-jung is the character's name. So Mr.
Yeah.
Gu and Yeon Mi-jung. I don't recommend falling in love with an alcoholic, but she made it look really classy in this show. And the way that they navigate their various issues that they have, his alcoholism, which is like so shocking. Like when they enter I think there's one point where the brother and one other character goes inside Mr. Gu's house and the floor is covered in
with
green
bottles.
soju bottles that are gleaming in the light. And you're just like, oh my God, that is a shocking amount of alcohol that this man has consumed. Moments like that really stick out in my mind as being like, what are we watching here? Like, this is saying something really profound. And the worship me line is one of those moments as well, you know?
Yeah.
Because she could have said, like, let's start dating, you know. So, but the worship me line implies so much more.
Yeah.
The way that he starts to worship her is, you know, seeing her, meeting the demands that she has, meeting her needs. I think her hat flies across some gulch there on their property. Was it a train track? I can't even remember.
No, it was like a huge gutter.
Okay. And he gets a running start and leaps Olympic style across to get her hat for her.
You know, I think the thing with Yeon Mi-jung's character was she was invincible in society. And invincible at home. And so his worshiping her, like you said, was seeing her and seeing her emotions and acknowledging her emotions and sort of trying to support her. So meeting her when she's coming back from the train, it took a long ass time for sis to get to work. And I've done that. My commute used to be 2 hours to work and from work. And I was just like, oh, by the end, you're so exhausted. And here's someone who we'll get you an ice cream or we'll get you a bun and he will also get his soju bottle. But I think the conversation around the alcohol and his drinking, I guess I questioned, is it okay if he's not harming anyone?
Well, he's harming himself.
oh, well, that's yourself. That's your business. That's not my business. That's not my business.
Well,
But
the thing is that's what's interesting as well. That's what's cool about the show is that Mi-jung doesn't try and solve his problem.
Exactly.
At all.
Yeah, I agree. She just met him where he was at, and she just concentrated on what he could give her and nothing beyond that. And I don't know if that's because she herself believed that at the time she didn't really need anything else, or she didn't deserve this, or what, like, I don't know. I think her character was suited for someone like him.
Yeah. She bottled her emotions.
Yeah.
To the point where you're almost bamboozled that she doesn't have any.
Yeah.
But she's an incredibly emotional character, deeply discontent and lonely. She had a great poker face, valued her privacy and privacy of thought, and quite a soulful character. And she sees the same thing in Mr. Gu, right? This sort of like caged soul.
Yeah. I guess until she wanted something different for herself and she was bold enough to go after it is when she realized, I can't be with this guy.
Yeah. She shocks him back to life, basically, with the worship me line. We could sit here and do a whole My Liberation Notes podcast episode.
We could.
They soothe each other, and I think that's the important part of the show is that they kind of just were therapy for each other in a lot of ways. So it was intriguing to see them interact and heal over time.
I agree. I like what you have in the notes about desire without fantasy. There was no La La Land, like Pretty Woman. There was nothing about that fantasy-like romance about this show, but they still cared for each other, and that was their person. And it definitely challenged my thoughts, because one hand I'm like, how can you see danger and you walk towards it and you're like, this will not affect me. I'm here to just be with you in this time. I don't know if I could do that.
One thought that I remember for the show, My Liberation Notes, and this will be like the last thing I say on it, is that Mi-jung talks about how she gets through the day. Because she's kind of hateful and she's sort of spiteful on the inside. But she says, I get through the day by collecting chunks of happiness.
Yes.
7 seconds of joy. At the end of the show, you see him doing that, going about this day, and he sees a shy girl in an elevator playing hide and seek with him. 7 seconds of joy, he thinks. He buys some liquor at the drugstore and accidentally drops a 500 won coin into the gutter, but as he moves closer to pick it up, it's perfectly balanced on a single grate. It never fell in. And so he is like stunned at this small miracle. And in that same motion, he like apparently stops drinking cold turkey. Like he puts down the bottle of alcohol as a gesture of, sobriety.
Yeah.
Hopefully he never picks up the bottle again. I love that it's not said explicitly. Like none of this is said explicitly in how he decides to turn over a new leaf. Everything about the show is subtle. I love that about My Liberation Notes and the sort of intimacy that it portrays. Because it's not really sexual intimacy at all.
A loud show. Yeah.
One show that I brought up in the Sad K-Dramas episode with Lola was the Red Sleeve. And I think the Red Sleeve is kind of grown, and it surprised people because it was a love that was constrained by power.
Yes.
I think the ending of that surprised people, but really it was sort of a bittersweet love.
I think that was a good representation of when love interacts with power and you're not on an equal footing. Because I feel like if she had been of noble birth and it had been recognized and her family or whoever was still alive and they were a minister and they were trying to get political power, etc., I don't think their love would have ended in the same way. I 100% think she would have still been lonely. That's without a doubt, because I find it's very, from what I've seen, there are a lot of lonely married women, which we don't talk enough about. But anyway, that's for another day. I just feel like because she was a servant before, she was put to the side. The system put her aside. I'm not sure it was necessarily him. He definitely made some decisions, but I think the system kept her in a space that it wasn't fair to their love.
Ooh, I like that. I mean, their love, it goes so far that on her deathbed, she's like, I don't want to do this again. Next time you see me in the next life, don't talk to me. I don't want to hear about it, because it was so detrimental to her to lose her freedom. Even though she loved him and she loved him very deeply, it cost her a lot.
It did.
Cost her
It
everything.
did. And that's something that in the beginning she fought so hard against. Like, she has seen the cost of love on women in relationships. And she's like, I don't want any of that. I want to be the rich auntie. I want to be like the Joan of Arc. That's my track. I don't need this kind of love. But because of who he was, I guess just his affection for her, she was swallowed up by it and put in a chamber.
Yeah.
And so her life did not turn out how she had dreamed it would turn out. And I think she definitely not lost more than he did. So I can understand her when she says, you see me next time, go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I never want to be with you. I like, next life, I'm allergic to you.
Yeah. Another period piece that it's not the same, but it has a lot of layers to it, and it's My Dearest.
Oh, My Dearest. My God. Yes, talk to me about it.
Man, I'm just thinking, like, this guy went to war for her, and she was with everybody else but him for the longest time. She's very proud and arrogant of a character, and just kind of unlikable until she gets humbled by wartime, basically, and grows up. Right? She was a child at the beginning of the show, and she grows up in tumultuous times, having to be a leader for the other female characters in the show, assertive, and all of these qualities that made her unlikable make her a survivor. But their romance feels very mature. It feels so mature. It feels grown. Ahead of its time. Like, for this time period, it feels ahead of its time, because she gets captured and is sold into slavery. He gets her out, but not before being completely devastated by her circumstances and where he's found her.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of stuff that's left unsaid. You can kind of guess at what kind of experience she's had, that she's maybe been sexually assaulted while being enslaved. And that's a death sentence in this, like, deeply Confucian patriarchal society. It's a shunnable offense, a divorceable offense. When she finally reveals what happened, she's completely vulnerable with him. He is so kind and caring toward her. He says something like, I would tell her that she was, because she gives it in a hypothetical, right? She tells him the truth in this hypothetical. Like, what if I told you this?
Yeah.
And he's so gentle with her and says, I'd give her a hug because she had a hard time.
Yeah. Oh, that drama.
And it's a beautiful moment.
Yeah. I like what you said about it being a mature drama, even though technically you could say maybe she was 19 or 20 at that time.
I mean, similar to Naido in 25, 21, but I digress.
You're doing too much.
Not the hands up, like, freeze.
You're doing too much. That's so funny. The way I reacted to that, like, oh my God, I can't believe you're bringing that up. But you're right. No, Naido, wasn't she 18 or 17 or some shit like that?
God, I think she was maybe 18 or 19, I think, at the start of the show.
At the start of the show?
Yeah.
I thought she was 16 at the start of the show.
I think the show takes place over several years. And at the end, when they break up, the ages are 25 and 21.
Okay, then maybe I was doing too much. But back to My Dearest.
Yes, please.
I wonder if adult romance can be without trauma.
Oh.
And I think it can, but I wonder if, I don't think it can in a historical drama context, but I think it can in a modern drama, because the practical guide to love, no trauma. Well, the female lead, her parents don't like each other and, you know, they're separated, if you will. So there's a little bit of trauma, but not like My Dearest level.
No, I think the historical, it's usually kind of a larger than life story. And
exactly,
you do have, I mean, heavy trauma. And that's, I think, common for true historicals, right?
Yeah. In My Dearest, it really boiled down to she did not believe him, because there's a scene that sticks in my head when she was supposed to meet up with him and they were going to run away together, and she never showed up. Years later, they're having a conversation and he's like, "Why did you choose them over me?" And she said, "Because you are fine. Like, all those other people needed me and I could be a hero for them, but you're your own hero. Like, you got your shit together. You're fine." And he's like, "What made you think I'm fine? What made you think I could live a life without you?" It's because homeboy was too capable. I don't know what to tell him.
Too competent.
Oh no.
Was that a Justin Bieber? No. She's confident.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
I need to bring it back in.
I know,
Anytime...
you do. I see you like trying to rein it in.
Exactly. Anytime I hear like a sound, I always do a TikTok sound that matches it. And I get carried away. So I need to like pull myself back in. But because he was so capable and because he gave that playboy energy, she felt like, oh, he wasn't taking me as seriously. Which was crazy. Was crazy because it makes me feel like she was seeing herself in him, because then I was wondering, are you not taking your love for that weasel seriously? Because the stuff you were trying to do with him, that's what homeboy is doing with you. And you're not accepting it. Because to you, you're playing with Weasel. At the end of the day.
Who is Weasel? Are you talking about the second male lead?
Oh, yeah. Who else will I be talking about? Talking about the guy who married the best friend. I call him Weasel. He was a weasel.
Okay, yeah. I love your nickname, Weasel. What is the name of that character? Oh my God.
I don't even know.
Yeonjun.
Weasel Yeonjun.
Weasel Yeonjun.
I just felt like the methods Lee Jang-hyun's character used were the same things that Kyu-chae's character or Kyu-chae was using in the beginning. So she never took it as seriously. And for her, it's about she was getting played. Liked. Yeah. She thought she was getting played, and so she chose other people.
And she was wrong.
Yeah, she was wrong.
Let's talk a little bit. She was super wrong. Let's talk a little bit about second chance romance again. I know we mentioned Go Back Couple earlier, but there's two that I would love to talk about. And one is Our Beloved Summer, which I think is low-key a grown show. I think a lot of people had issues with Our Beloved Summer. They thought it was boring. They thought it was slow.
What? That's with Chae Shik, right?
Yeah, Chae Shik and Kim Da-mi.
Oh, I like that one.
I really love Our Beloved Summer. It is like a warm blanket on a cold day. And it's quite comforting a show. But that relationship is a second chance romance.
It is.
She basically has to get over her own complex.
Yes.
With him, because he's lived kind of a great life, and she's had to struggle for everything she's got.
You know what it is? Another example is she's a type A, or she was a type A character, and he's definitely a type B guy.
Yeah.
And there's some resentment towards type B people.
Oh.
As a type A. Because what do you mean I'm working 11 different jobs trying to make ends meet, and you're just existing?
You're just drawing
struggling?
little pictures, and you got a full ride scholarship to study abroad, and you're just not going to take it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not only that, you don't seem to care about life and the things that I care about.
Yes. It's the difference between a very careful person and a carefree person.
And honestly, I understand their resentment because, personal story, but I used to have a homegirl, and pandemic, we both lost our jobs. We were doing the same jobs, and she went home, and she was living at home, and she would call me every day telling me about how she wasn't happy, and her parents are making her pay rent. Mind you, I've been paying rent since I was 18 or 17. So I was like, your parents are making you pay rent for the first time in your life, and we're like 30.
Yeah.
So, and then it was always like, as soon as she had a challenge in life, I would be the first call. She'll tell me what it is, and she'll say, what should I do? And she'll be crying, and she's like, please tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. And I found myself being resentful because I'm just like, my friend, the challenges you are going through, it doesn't hold a candle to the challenges that I go through. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why this is a big deal. And I think it's because when I was growing up, my dad was a very critical thinking. You will sit there and you'll solve the problem and you'll tell me why. So I got annoyed that other people don't do that. I didn't have the patience for
figure it out.
Yeah. I didn't have the patience for people who didn't figure it out. And I had to learn through that and be patient and realize, hey, other people have like different experiences. But I did have a conversation with her and I was like, girl, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You have to figure. I can't keep giving you advice when I think it was also, I wasn't getting the support I thought I wanted to. So it was just like, why am I always supporting you and nobody is supporting me? It was a very childish time in my life. I accept that. But
yeah,
with Our Beloved Summer, I felt like that with Kim Dami's character. I think her name was Cook Yeonsu or Yeonsu. I think it was
that
Yeonsu.
Sounds right. Yeah, we'll go with that.
So Yeonsu is like, I am hustling my ass off, and all you had to do was scribble in your book. Never do your homework.
We're not trying to disparage artists, okay?
No, we're not.
I don't want anybody coming in my DMs and being like, I draw for a living. I don't like what you said about our living. Okay.
Oh my God. No, I draw too. Please. I'm just talking about the type A mental mind of, wow, I don't feel like you worked as hard as me.
And you wouldn't understand me.
You wouldn't understand. Yeah. Because she's working through her own complexes. So she had to work through her own stuff.
I really like that about Our Beloved Summer. And it feels valid when they finally kind of get back together and he asks, like, why? Like, look, why did we break up? I'm not even quite sure. So yeah, I love that. And, the regret of giving up on it and stuff like that because they had something special and they were young and they were in love and she breaks it off so suddenly. So I love that about Our Beloved Summer. Feels grown. The other one that I wanted to bring up was What Comes After Love. This is a very beautiful show. It's one of those J-drama, K-drama crossovers.
Oh, yes, with the cute Japanese guy.
Yes! Yes. This story, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's basically a very bittersweet story. Yeah. It reminded me a lot of the Before trilogy. A lot. You know, they have this transformative experience together. They fall in love, but then they part ways. They reunite. And he's written a book about her that's inspired by her. It's like to a T, very the Before trilogy. It's another second chance romance that feels earned.
I agree. It's on Viki. I think it's still on Viki if you want to watch that. But yeah, it was a very beautiful cross-country
collaboration.
Yeah.
I think the last thing that I wanted to chat about was dramas that do sex.
Aha.
The first up, Love to Hate You.
Oh my God. Let's talk about Love to Hate You.
Do it.
That show was for grown folks.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That was adult romance. And I'll give you I guess a difference. When you watch Practical Guide to Love with Park Sung-hoon and Hachimin, they had a innocence about them, even though they were in like their mid-30s. And that pissed me off so much. It felt like they were in a relationship for the first time ever. And they were doing the whole, even though he knew what he wanted, it was just like, oh, can we hold hands? And there was just a purity. That purity culture comes through.
Yes.
Where in Love to Hate You, it felt more practical. I like you, you like me, let's get on. Mm-hmm. When they did get to that point. First,
and there was consent.
Just like, yes.
The whole thing about it was just so sexy.
It was like front to back. Sexy. Yo.
We're just so looking at each other.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I love to Hate You, and we could do a whole podcast episode on Love to Hate You, but really, that's one where the sex is not, like you mentioned, the purity culture that's pervasive in K-dramas. That is not the case in this. This isn't like the first time they've ever heard of the birds and bees. Like, you know, we're grown, we're mature, we can talk about it. I can sleep over your house, you know, I'm a freaking lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a whole ass career. So Love to Hate You is on this list. I also wanted to bring up Hit the Spot.
Yeah.
Hit the Spot is about two 30-something gals running a sex podcast, and there is loads of sex in this show. Pretty explicit, but they talk about it, like the dynamics that are at play, and they talk about sex toys in the show, all kind of stuff.
It was a great forward show, which I don't want to say Korea is not forward. I think they're very forward. Mm-hmm. I do question that purity culture BS. And I tie it in with just the pressure they put on women and misogyny and all those things. But if you're looking at shows from way back when, let's say Summer Scent, right? So we're talking 2008-ish or earlier. Even then, you watch a K-drama by someone and you go see them in a K-movie.
Oh my God.
Like, girl. Damn. You're like, where did the purity go?
And that's why when I watched Kong-yu in the trunk, I knew what his ass looked like already. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I've seen Kong-yu in movies.
A man and a woman. Y'all, if you haven't seen a man and a woman.
He's having sex with.
She did a crash course in romance.
Yes.
And
Chon Do-yeon.
Yes.
Chon Do-yeon and Kong-yu did this movie called A Man and a Woman. And I think they're having sex in a remote sauna in Finland. Do I have that correct? It was a sauna cabin.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo.
I knew about it.
That movie was a very complicated, right person, wrong time, desire does not equal safety, like all the things that you've written in your notes, that movie embodied it. Love versus responsibility. Mm-hmm. Oh, and the sex scenes.
Oh, get
Jesus
out.
Christ.
Okay. Oh my God. We have to talk about Search WWW, which that was the very first review that you were on Daebak.
Yes. My baby.
My baby. But there's a lot of sex in that. And the relationships are pretty well done. Like all three of them.
Yeah. Especially the woman who's married. Mm-hmm. Jun Hae-jin's character. So Jun Hae-jin is
How did you remember
an amazing
that?
actress. I don't know.
Okay, keep going.
No. Let me clarify. I think about her a lot.
Oh, really?
I do. Especially,
Is it because of her husband?
I thought about her before her husband.
Okay.
Because I guess, I don't want to say I was there when they got married, but I think they got married in 2009. And I was like I'm reading every blog. I'm waking up to watch stuff. Like I was there in my head.
Yeah.
So I loved them as a couple, and I understood way back when that she was making a huge sacrifice, and she was the biggest star when they got married. So when all that shit came up, I was like, damn, see, this is what we're talking about when women sacrifice so much in marriage. And then, you know, he passed on, and I've just been waiting for her to come back and for the entertainment industry to give her a chance to come back. So I've been following her career. She's coming up with a drama this month called Reborn Rookie. So
nice.
I'll be watching. But anyway, yeah. I loved her character in Search WWW because her marriage was so complicated.
It was awful. Yes, it was.
That man loved her, and at the same time, he didn't? Or did he? Like, it was just so, what kind of relationship is this? And why is it still working? They just understood their roles and their partnership. And I do think he adored her because he was throwing everyone under the bus just so that nothing would touch her. And eventually they do get back together, and it's so cute. But
yeah, he loved her to the point of destruction.
Yeah.
So I also want to bring up, and this is an oldie, the In Need of Romance series. Do you recall this series, In Need of Romance?
I Need Romance?
Oh, sorry. I Need Romance. Do you recall the I Need Romance series?
I remember one. I think I remember the others more.
I remember one the best.
Really?
Yeah. But you know why? Because I haven't watched the other two. So I Need Romance was basically Korea's answer to Sex and the City.
Yes.
And it had these ladies traipsing around in various states of romance, and they were having sex, and it was quite revolutionary, I would say, for the K-drama landscape.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think there were some other dramas like Dalja's Spring, which did some stuff there too. But I hear you.
Talk to me about Dalja Spring.
Oh, wow. Dalja's Spring is about a 33-year-old woman. And we don't see her, the actress, acting anymore. But I believe her name was Cherim. And if I got her name right.
It is Cherim. I don't know how did you do that?
Stop it.
It is. And Imin Ki is in it. Lee Hyun-woo is in it.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen.
Talk to me.
Okay. So she's a home shopping host.
Yeah.
TV host. No, a producer or a host. One of them. It's been a long time, people. But she gets dumped. And it's very much a I'm finding myself, I'm going to make it work kind of show where it centers around, I want to say 2 or 3 women. One of them is a much older lady who also is a host. Think Miranda Priestley. So she's very fashionable. She's very cutthroat. She's very sexy.
Is this played by
has all the men. Yeah.
Okay.
Has all the men wrapped around her finger. And she even at some point in the show gets pregnant. So it's like a geriatric pregnancy, and they talk about her experience and all of that, which I thought was fantastic too. But with Cherim was a mess. I'm like, homegirl, you can't be 33 and not have your shit together. And she ends up hiring Lee Min-ki's character to be a pretend boyfriend because she doesn't want to be embarrassed around her social circles. So he's a boyfriend for hire. They just start with the hijinks, and he ends up cohabitating with her at one point, which I love a good cohabitation. Like, put me under the same roof. I love that.
Forced
but
proximity for the win.
Exactly. In this show, he looks like a beggar.
What do you mean a
He
beggar?
looks like a
Now I have
like
to
a
look up
homeless
photos
person.
of this. Hold on. Now I'm going to look up photos of him.
He looks like a homeless person in this show. And it wasn't like the fashion kind that we see on the streets these days, where the shirt has holes and it's Balenciaga or some shit. No. It was like he didn't really care. So he was always challenging her. She's trying to get him to dress up and be perfect and whatnot. And he's like, I don't care about these things. You should care about me. And if you want me to do all those things, then buy my shit. Come to find out, this man is a lawyer. He's a whole ass lawyer. Yo.
Oh my God. Okay. So where can I watch Delta Spring?
That's another thing you have to find. It used to be on Viki. I wonder if it's on Cocoa.
You're right. It's on Cocoa right now.
See? I know my shit.
Yeah,
Oops,
you
sorry.
do. You do. Okay, so Delta Spring, it's a spicy? The show spicy?
It's spicy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's spicy, especially with Lee Hae-young's character. She's very, I'm a grown woman. Don't play games with me. I want you, you come. I say go, you go. Like it was, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was really good at it.
Are there any other shows that you would love to bring up?
Have you seen Hyena?
No, I haven't.
Jesus. Why? That's a legit question. Why haven't you seen Hyena? Listeners, Hyena is on Netflix. Do yourself a favor. It's starring Joo Ji-hoon and Kim Hae-soo. I don't know why I know the names, but it was a grown-up show where it was a mix. They're both lawyers, and it's like seduction and law. Who's gonna win? What do I need to do to win?
That's
the
why
case?
I didn't watch it, because they're lawyer. It's a law. I don't do law
that's
shows.
fair. You didn't watch Secret Love Affair? Let's talk about Secret Love Affair.
Is that with Yuan?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I've heard of the show, but tell me about it.
Jess, what are you doing with life?
It's not like I'm not watching anything.
Secret Love Affair came out a couple of years ago, and it stars Yuan and Kim Hye. So it came out 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Kim Hye is an instructor, I think classical music, and Yuan's character is a genius student, and they get into an illicit affair. And just trying to cover it up, Kim Hye's character is married, and the husband is in their circle, and their friends are in their circle. So I think, mind you, Kim Hye did World of the Married. I just think she's fantastic at those psychological thriller romance shows. So that's my sell to you.
Okay.
We talk about desire and power, and it blows up in their face, and who gets punished, and should someone be punished. He's a uni student. She's a uni professor. Yeah. So there's talk about consent, power, desire. Gosh, desire. Ooh, speaking of desire.
Okay.
Bad Guy with Kim Nam-gil.
No, haven't
Please
seen
tell
that
me
show.
you've watched it.
No.
Oh my God. Okay. Please add it to your list. That's all.
Oh my God. But what's it about? Like, tell me about it.
Bad Guy, Kim Nam-gil goes in for revenge, I believe. And he falls in love with...
Hey, he looks really good in this show.
Yo.
Let
me tell you something.
He looks real good. Oh my God, the plot synopsis. Oh my God, the plot synopsis from Asian
You go
Wiki
ahead and
for
share
this
it.
show. I'll read you the first sentence.
Yeah.
Konok is a sexy man and highly ambitious. Period. That's the first sentence of the synopsis for Bad Guy.
And they're not lying.
I'm dying. Yeah, this is from 2010.
There is a scene in this show that lives rent-free in my head.
Oh, Lord.
There's an elevator scene.
Oh.
You know when you're in the elevator and there's so many people around, so you're pushed back to like the back against the wall?
Do they take it to the nth degree? Because I've seen that a million times.
And they do this
No.
hand touching, caressing
Yeah.
thing in the back.
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. It was something. It was
Wow.
something.
Mm.
And are you going to watch it? Or should I? No.
Don't
No
spoil it.
spoilers.
I don't spoil it for me.
Don't spoil it.
I
Okay.
will watch it eventually. For sure.
Oh, man. Damn. I want to spoil it, but I don't want to.
Okay. Any other shows you want to discuss?
Did you see Reflection of You
No.
with Go Hyun Jung on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So that's also talking about.
You're just getting more and more disappointed in me.
That's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's talking about consent, an affair, and power dynamics. So you have this lady.
You seem to really
who-
like that combo.
You know what? Give me a trunk. Give me a love me. Give me a reflection of you. World of the Married.
Secret love
I love
affair.
that. Yeah. That's my jam.
I
Because
see
I think
that.
it has-
I see that.
I think it has a good balance of makjang and intensity and emotions and sexiness. And I end up asking myself, morally, Carol, is this right? Should you be doing this?
Uh-huh. Right.
And then I sit
The
there
answer's
and argue
no.
with myself. As you said, I'm soft sometimes.
You're
I'm
soft
not gonna
on
say what I'm
crime.
soft on. Do you know someone DM'd me and was like, you should make that a t-shirt, Carol. Soft on crime.
Oh, with like a photo of Hyunbin and Made in Korea.
Yeah. Soft
You
on crime.
soft on crime, Carol. Mhm.
Anyway, there's this attraction. And the issue is he shows up and he has a girlfriend. So during their affair, he had a girlfriend. So he ran off with this old lady too. And so the girlfriend remembers everything and has been manipulating the both of them throughout the whole story and threatening the woman. And he's like, I'm not trusting my girlfriend. I feel like my girlfriend is up to something.
Girl, you
I'm
like those
getting these-
psychosexual thrillers. You like a psychosexual thriller, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you gotta call it what it is. Okay.
It had us by the chokehold.
Is that a romance? I don't know.
It was.
Girl.
Oh, okay. I'll stop.
I know. This is starting to veer into like convicting territory with us, so we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you, Carol, for talking
Thank
about
you.
grown romances that have a lot of agency, that are maybe a little sexy, that are not cookie cutter, and have a lot of complexity to them. And we love a lot of them. There's so many that I haven't seen, and I'm sure there's so many that people would love to see after getting all of these recommendations from us and chatting through various dramas, whether they were good or bad. So, Carol, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Instagram as Kdrama Musings. And I have a Substack also called Kdrama Musings. So you can join me on there too. Thank you so much for having me, Jess.
Thank you so much for joining me on this sojourn, this more adult romance journey. That's it. That's been our show. I'm Jessica, and this has been the Daebak K-Rambles Podcast.